Well, hello, guys. I am back with a new edition of I Want to Make That Card, but I don't have ... In this case, what I do not have, if you're looking at this inspiration, this is my inspiration card right here. It is that edge die, and this is straight from Simon Says. I will link you to that die. And I think it also gave me the hugs. I do not have the hugs one. I am not so concerned about the hugs because I can use other sentiment dies. So I'm not like all like about that. But I'm in love with that card. I am. I can't help it. I love the background, the even the purple. I'm not so sold on the purple, but I can change that color up to something that does make me happy. So we're gonna go with that. But I just wanted to show you what the inspiration is. This is going to be my guide. I'm going to show you how my version of that card, because as always I say inspiration is a guide, not a girdle. But I'm going to go with this and we'll see how my version turns out, and you guys tell me what you think. So give me a second. I'm going to turn back over to my desk and I'll be right back with you. Okay, I am back. I have done some pre-die cutting because you guys know what the rule is around here. You know, make one, cut four. Let's make multiple, especially because I'm setting up now continuously to be donating these. Now, here's the interesting thing. When you run this die through the diamond press, my goodness, you'll see in a minute, it really curls the bottom plate. It's like, yeah, there you go. It's very, very interesting. So anyway, I've already cut my strips down. This panel is 3 5/8 by 8.5. And then these are just a little bit smaller, 3.5. So there's just an 1/8 of an inch difference because they go behind. And there you go, because that seemed like makes sense to me. So remember, guys, this is me you're talking about. You never know what makes sense to me. So let me get this up here anyway, where I know you'll see it. I want to make sure it's always in kind of in focus. Let me move Big Mama over here. Hopefully she won't fall. But we're going to put this die. So here's my die. It's an amazing die. It cuts amazingly well. But the pressure, it's like, wow. So, and this time I'm going to go in reverse. I'm going to put the paper on top of the die. And then we're going to sandwich it with the other die, and hopefully nothing will move. And we'll see, it already did. So it takes a little bit of, of careful. And if I use, the problem is that it doesn't, because this is curved, I have a hard time. There's no realistic way of putting tape on this. It's just, you have to be careful with it. And this time I did a better job of it. Yeah, this time it stayed. And then I just bring over the diamond press, the marquee, remember el marquee de cortar. And once it snags, we're in business. We're good. Then it doesn't move anymore. I'll move that over here. And then we just crank it through. We're going to crank just the one panel, because I've already cut the other ones. I cheated. And just let it go through. And I'm grabbing it only so I don't have an explosion of Chad all over the place, because then I have to clean it up. And I don't want to clean it up because I am inherently lazy. So, well, here, now that kind of straightens it out a little bit. So give me a second. Let me take it out in my trash. So I have to empty. Oh my gosh, I have filled it up little by surely in little fits and starts. Okay. But look how beautifully it cuts. I have noticed this is an ongoing issue, and I just deal with it. So let's peel this up carefully. And I'm going to shake the Chad off of this too. And then we'll get this out of the die. So, okay, there's still some in there, but I'm not going to worry about it too much because I've now cut enough of these panels. And let me just get these off. So it does cut it cuts really well. I have no complaint on it. I did try also cutting it with the spellbinders. I was going to demonstrate using the spellbinders, but the die is just the edge, and I really had a tough time. The spellbinders did not like, my new one did not like this die at all. It has a tough time. I think it's just that much thicker, interestingly enough. I don't know. It didn't like it, but what I will do is now I have to trim that little piece there. So let me just, you know, take these little, break off these little edges. But as you can tell, I have to trim off that little piece there. Doesn't matter how I run it, one end does it. And if you think I want to run it through a second time, that's to trim it off, when it's just as easy for me just to put it on the edge here. Feel for it. Yep. There. Problem solved. Crisis averted. Right? There is no reason for me to go through any other effort. Let me pop out these couple of pieces that I just spotted. Come on, pretty. Oh my goodness. We have one. There we go. The little circly one. So, I mean, look at that. Tell me here. I'll put it against at least this card back. Tell me that doesn't just look beautiful. Oh, it cuts so well, but you're starting to see the basis for this card. It is, I mean, as is. It would be a monstrous pain in the neck. And there's a part of me that actually wants to do it. I want to do this in piece in colored paper in here. I think it would be amazing. It would be a bit nightmarish to do, but I may come back, revisit this die and do just that, because I think it'd be breathtaking if we did that. So, I mean, but here's the deal. What we're going to do is we're actually going to put it, because look how beautiful it looks against that pink background. So we are going to go ahead, and I don't know that I'm going to, I have no idea. There's a part of me that wants to go through here and scribble all across this, but can you imagine? Can you imagine the puddle I'd have to make? I mean, I don't know. This is not, no matter how you look at it. I mean, and this is, let me see. And there we go. And where's my little tool? And we will just press this down. And I'm just going to pick up my little schmutzes. Guys, I knew there was going to be a few cases of schmutzes. And we have, is this off? Well, no. It just is what it is. But I have, so you can see here, I'm a little bit off. Not a problem. That is something I can solve with the paper trimmer. So, I mean, there you go. We got this done. This card really does come together easily once you've done, you've cut your paper down and you do all the die cutting. So, let me just take and trim off that little extra edge. There we go. Problem solved, crisis averted. I may have cut off the brown a little tiny bit. It might have made it a little bit shorter, but we will make it work. So now the question is, how do I make it look like my sample? I mean, it looks great just as is, but here is my solution. A strip. I just cut down a strip. I believe this is 1 3/4. So I just cut 1 3/4, and we're going to, of course, glue that down in the center. Hello. And that will give us our border. It's not identical, and that's okay. This is a bit different. I really like it, which is, I realized when I saw this, I go, oh, I know the die I want to use. So I just had to make sure I had it here. So when I saw it, I had to retrieve it from the house, and I only go home once a week right now, just to trade out and grab stuff and check on the dog. And Bo, the dog, the Basset Hound, is doing much better. He had to go back to the vet. We spent another chunk of change, is why it's like I can't go shopping, because I have pretty much dumped this paycheck of the dog. Pet ownership is not cheap, but he's Bo the Basset Hound. What am I going to do? So I want to center this. I want to center this perfectly. So what am I going to do? I'm just going to go cray here and be just a smidgen AR. So I think that, is that? No, I think it's a little bit this way. There we go. I've got my center. I'm going to mark it right there. So that's my cheater method. I put a little mark there because I am just ridiculously perfectionisty, and I need to do this because that will feed my compulsions. And there we go. So now we have the center of this piece, and I put another tick mark right there. Now we are just going to go a little bit. We're going to have a Prince moment, and let's go crazy. And we're going to scribble glue all the way around the edge of this piece. And we are not going to revert for Big Mama. Big Mama is feeling very unloved right now, and she's very sad in her hot pinkedness over there. But she will be okay. You know me, I love Big Mama. I use her a lot. So this is her moment. She's deserving of the coffee break. I'm crazy. I'm talking about a tape gun, like as if we were alive, you know, because we're in Toy Story. When we're not looking, they all come alive and they talk about me. So, but okay, so now we have the center. I have scribbled glue all over this. All I got to do now is just align my little tick marks. So, you know, a few seconds work makes everything so much easier, because then I just have to keep it straight and make sure that's straight. And then I think, see, now I go a smidgen over the edge there. And again, we will fix that. And look at that. Does it look okay? It almost looks, I'm gonna let it go. I'm just gonna have to trust the process that it is perfect or close to perfect. I mean, nothing's ever perfect. Perfect is God. Other than that, we mere mortals, we just, you know, use our God-given talents. So now, look, there it is. There it is. So you can take something that you have and make it. Now, all I have to do is center it here. But before I do that, I have to trim off that little piece there. So let me make sure it's nice and pressed in. Let me grab my little guillotina here, my little one. Right, okay. There we go. And I cut off, I mean, it's a sliver. Look at that. That's what I cut off. Little tiny sliver. But I could see it. It bothered me. Now, we take and I can sit here and grab the glue again, because now I don't have the same edge as the other card, because of course I'm not using the same die. So, but I still have an edge, and I have a little bit of edge on each side. So, I mean, actually, I'm yet again going to cheat a little bit, and I'm going to eyeball. I'm not going to go do the center method, because that's just crazy, right? So I'm just going to do little lines here. And you know what? I'm going to use glue. I hardly ever do it this way. I always use tape. So let's just take, you know, because now I'm brave, and I'm going to take a leap of faith, and this comment will make much more sense when you see my next video. Or maybe you'll have already seen that video. I don't know, because I'm going to go, and as soon as I finish this, I'm going to go edit the video I am talking about. You guys are saying, Mayra, what the heck are you talking about, right? You will find out. You will just have to wait. This is a teaser. I'm just going to say leap of faith. This all will be revealed in a day or two. Okay, so now let me just squiggle, you know, and I have to refill this. And oh, I do have a problem. I now get to start a new list of things I have to bring. This bottle is almost empty. And the refill of the Barely Art glue is at home. But I think I can get Steve, so I may have to message him and tell him, because he's coming this way tomorrow, because we're going to get together for dinner with some friends tomorrow. Pizza night at a friend from high school owns a pizza, an Italian restaurant that we go to. So tomorrow it's everybody from, you know, old Fullerton High School, and me, who is the wannabe. I'm the outsider wife. I always am like the outsider here. I mean, but they've been really good about making me feel like I'm a part of the group. I'm just a wannabe. Okay, I still have to bring this up a little bit. And the glue will still let me. There we go. I want that between my lines. And then just lay it down. Does it look okay? I need to bring it up a little bit up here. I should have drawn lines on both sides. And I am totally running out of wiggle room here, so I have got to commit. Now, of course, the downside to having used glue is I'm going to have to bring this up again. And I have to straighten it out here, because I know it doesn't look right. Now it is. Or pretty close to it, okay? And that should, let me go on this side and really press it down. And there we go. Now, let me just really quick, before I forget, although you can't see them, I'm going to try to hit it with the eraser and take out my little tick marks. I mean, there you go. All I have to do now is come in and die cut my sentiment. And I think I've decided, I don't know, which way should I go? I don't want to do thank you. I can either do happy in the hot pink or celebrate. I feel, well, this is a thinner one, so yeah. So we're going to go with celebrate. So let me grab let me pop it out of here. I already pre-cut, because you know how I do this now. I cut off the tops off of these envelopes so that they make their own sleeves. Saves me a couple of bucks on buying sleeves. I don't have to. I can spend it on stuff that I want to. So I can buy sleeves when I want to, but now it's not a necessity. So this is my celebrate. Again, remember, this is from Stamp Anything. I love it. And I'm going to use up this card. I may cut out several sentiments out of, no, we're going to do it this way because there's a chance it will fit. If nothing else, another celebrate right there. So now I am going to use one of my pieces of tape because I can. And we'll use another piece here. These are all used pieces, guys. This is not even cutting. So I use, you know me, I use my teal tape until the bitter end. Let me see, do I have, oh heck, let me just bust out a new one. I know I have them here handy, but knowing I have them handy and knowing where handy is are two different things. So we're just going to bust out new ones and the heck with it. It's not like I don't have any. It's not like they didn't keep, every time I keep buying one, they don't send me another one. And we'll die cut now to celebrate. And away we go. Yep, easy peasy. Wahoo! God, I love these dies. I love my machine. Now, the one thing I do need to do is I need to cut out a couple more. So give me a second, I'll be right back. We've got the celebrate already, but I want it to pop out a little bit more. Oh my gosh, look at that. So give me a second, I'll be right back and we're gonna layer this up. Alrighty, so I am back. I've done a bit of die cutting and I've got all my layers. I did an extra layer just because this paper is a little bit thinner, but I actually wanted to match the background. So that's where I went. I went into left field because I'm a leftist. You guys know this. I'm always contrary. But I'm just going to do my usual little puddle method here. It's coming together very nicely. What? And it's nice and very, I wanted it to be. So this one is 4 layers. Normally I just do 3. This, I really felt strongly that I wanted it to be 4. Okay, now give me 1 second. Let's clean up the puddle right here. There we go. Done. And now, well, I picked up the puddle and then I got to lay down a new puddle because I kind of forgot that I do have to glue it down here. But oh my gosh, look how awesome it looks, right? This, I'm just like, I'm really pleased. This is, while not a perfect match, people, it is not too, I mean, it's close enough that I am perfectly fine. I am really, really, really happy. And I will have multiple of these. So I'll show you let me get through this one, and then I'll put the other ones together with different sentiments and different, and I've picked different colored paper too, just to give it some variety. I will do a couple of these hot pink ones with Celebrate on them and make those probably donatable, or maybe one of each. We'll see. I mean, I'm making more. I ended up cutting up more paper than I thought because I just got happy. Wow. That went down. I pretty much, I think it's pretty close to dead center. So now it's about, so I've centered it left to right. Now let me center it up and down. And I think we're good with that. I'm going to leave well enough alone. And we're going to wipe this up really quick, guys. But that's it. That is really it. Although I could, you know, in all honesty, just for the difference, I think I'm going to add a little blingage. So give me 1 second. Let me pick something out. As amazing as that will sound, I have actually made a decision. I'm going with the little gold dots, and these are ones I picked up from Paper Studio, which is, of course, the Hobby Lobby brand. But we're just going to put like 2 or 3. Just actually, should probably be 3. It's always the rules of 3. So we're going to grab a big one. We're not going to overthink it. We are just going to put it on my nail. Go that one here, and we'll put that one, another one, kind of over here. No, apparently it did not want to stay where I wanted it to stay. Goodness gracious. There we go. You know what? Did I pick up? It didn't pick up any glue. That's why. Oh, it is still. That's what it is. It's not going to stay anywhere. So I'm just going to put a dot. I'm going to put a dot of glue right there. Let me see if I can flip him over. He's like a turtle right now. And I could be wrong, but it doesn't look like the other one is staying either. So, this is where, these are moments like these that you realize that you might get what you pay for. Because that might not happen with the Spellbinders ones, but that's okay. I am not going to get all unhappy about it. I'm just going to put a little dot of glue and pick him up and drop him right on top of the glue. And we're going to put another one, a little guy over here. I don't know. I don't know how good that looks, if this meets with anybody's approval. But I am just, why am I wasting my time doing it this way? Okay. Let me, oh, really? Yep, it's going to go, it's going to flip upside down. Just because. There we go. Come here, my pretty. Oh, now it wants to stick to the paper. Really? There we go. Although now it looks too, no, we're going to put it up here. Yep. And then we're going to grab a 3 grouping over here. And I think I'm going to go opposite. I don't know why, but I am. We'll put the big one over here on top. Whoops. Sorry for that, guys. And we'll put one down here and one over here. And there we go. I mean, just a little bit of pop. And there. And we're going to call it good. Let me pick up that schmutz. But it's kind of like I have to pick up the schmutz, but I kind of needed to dry so that the gem doesn't move. It's like you can't win. And there you go. There is my take on it, guys. A little bit different. Definitely not the same die, but hello, here we are. I want to make that card, but I don't have ... The die, I think, all considering, turned out cool. So give me a second. Let me come back and I'll show you my other iterations of that card. Okay, so give me a second. Well, okay, kids. I have finished and gone through all the cards. So let me show you what I ended up doing. So this is the one you already saw me complete with all of these. So in my journey to cut, you know, make one, cut four, I think did 6. But there you go. What's a little overkill? The sad thing was that I was fully intending on making extras to donate, and I forgot that I cannot donate slimlines. They have to be all A2s. So I'm going to have to go through my my dies and see about making, you know, a version of it shorter. But anyway, an A2 version of these cards. Or just make extras of the next one, and there you go. But anyway, so this is the one you've already seen. Here's Celebrate. I did one in this. I really went left field. So I didn't just do the stripe. I meant to have not done it in this order, but there you go. I made it square to fit the congrats, and then you see the background all the way around. And then I just added a few sparkles on it. Here is Happy, and this is from the die set from Crafter's Companions, and I will link you down below to it. I think it is still available. I believe I got this off of HSN, but isn't it really cute? It's the big stamp, so I love it. The big Happy, and then the little birthday right there, and then these are sequins from Spellbinders, from one of the sales I picked up. And here, again, another Happy Birthday, but this one differently. Here we have Birthday's Wishes. Again, just a few sparkles and then everything else. But again, here you guys where I made a card. I loved the premise, but I made what I had available to me work. So there you go. When you guys see something, think, okay, what have I got to work that will make this work? I think, to me, and that's not, I think of myself as, you know, all that in a package of paper, but I'm really happy. I am super pleased with how I was able to adapt what I had to make that, get the same look. Here's another one where I went left field. I did the hello, and then I just made the square smaller so that you can see all around it. And then I added just the gold sparkles just for added, you know, just that little bling. And last but not least, purple. And I went with thank you. I grabbed my thank you from Elizabeth Craft, and then just added some. These are purple sequins from a mix from Picket Fences, from the Picket Fences sale ones. So there you have all of the cards. I think it is appropriate to leave this one on top. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on the Odyssey of making this card in this newest edition of I want to make that card, but I don't have ... And if this made you think outside of the box and inspired you, please give me a thumbs up, drop me a note, okay? And if you want to see more inspiration, insanity, madness from me, then you know what to do, guys. Ring the bell, subscribe and ring the bell, and I will be back with more of my madness. Otherwise, I'm going to leave you because it's late, I'm tired, I'm going to bed. So have a great day tomorrow and evening. I'll see you when I see you. And meanwhile, guys, don't forget, we are all a little mad here. So come craft the madness with me, okay? All right, guys, have a great evening. Talk to you later. Bye.